guys, UFC 316 is in the books, and what it was maybe not the most, maybe not the most looked forward to event in the world. Still produced some interesting moments and situations and a couple of surprises. I am joined by my buddy Ben Davis.
Yes,
hey,
sir. Yes, sir.
live on the scene. The missus competing in the CrossFit. Is it the CrossFit tournament? What is it?
It's the NorCal Classic, I believe. We're in day 2. We've got day 3 coming up, so it's very exciting.
I love it. I love it. They probably have more people watching that than UFC 316. But regardless, we're going to react to it. And how's she doing at the moment? She's doing all right?
You know, it's a tough race. There's a lot of great competitors out there.
I love it. I love it. I love how these competitions down your way have funny names, like the Karate Kid. What was that? Like the Old Valley Championship.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have what is it? The NorCal. What is it? What's your one?
The NorCal Classic. You know, there's the Desert City, the Sun Cities. You know, we got a lot of crazy names out here.
I love it, man. I love it. So we're going to break down what happened at UFC 316. But before we do, man, Dana White emerged for a rare press conference. I just want to share some footage with you that just happened earlier. Our friend Oscar Willis asked Dana White a question about John Jones. I just want to get your reaction to it live as well. And by the way, you think your voice is bad, Ben? Have a listen to Dana White.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, I've been busy. I haven't been keeping up with the gossip. He comes back. He's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home. We'll be home tonight. And Tuesday, we'll figure this out.
Hey, just before we keep this video going, I got to ask you, man, so reacting to Dana White, like he hasn't been around much. People are like, this guy's not really as focused on the UFC as he should have been. And here he comes in, he says, look, I've been busy. I've been doing other things. He's hoarse. He's kind of doesn't even know what's happening in the MMA world. Do you think this adds to this kind of thing of like Dana White is like 1 foot in, 1 foot out to the maximum right now, more than we've ever seen him when it comes to the UFC?
To be honest, I think it's a lie. I think that there's a level of fabrication in which it's easier to suggest I don't know what's going on than say, hey, I'm fully informed, but this is a very complex situation and multiple parties are not agreeing. It's easier to just say, I don't fucking know. I'm with my First Form energy drink events and our activations, and I have no clue what John's doing. I love that he frames it as in John is in Thailand and he's completely inaccessible, as if Hunter Campbell didn't go to Dagestan to speak with Islam Makhachev. Like, cell phones exist. We can get John on the horn and have these negotiations. It's absolute blaspheme that we're in this horrendous 265-pound picture. And so for Dana to hop on the mic and say, what's going on? I just think that that's a little bit of a excuse and maybe not reality.
You know what's funny as well, what people don't realize is I know I've spoken to many people in the past, like Dana White actually does read the news quite a bit. I've heard like he's gotten annoyed at people in the past for things like he stays in tune. He's informed, like he knows more than he lets on. Let's just look at this point here. So Oscar obviously asked about the John Jones situation. So, you know, Dana's like, we'll speak to him on Tuesday. Like this isn't the biggest fight in the UFC can make right now. Like this isn't the fight that's going to stop basically hordes of fans from tuning out of the sport. Like this isn't the fight that has over 200,000 petition signees to say someone should be stripped of the title. And like this isn't one of the most important divisions in the UFC that's supposed to secure him a better TV deal. We'll just wait till Tuesday to see what happens. I didn't even realize this was what's going on, Dana White says. Then Oscar goes on to follow him up here, and I just want to get your thoughts on this one here, Ben.
If he doesn't fight, because he also called out Francis Ngannou. He said he'd rather fight Francis, which I assume...
Who did?
John.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that interested in that then. But if he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall and he does walk away, do you think he's ducked him? Would you?
Tom Aspinall's the guy. He's the guy. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. I didn't want Habib to retire. I thought DC should have stayed in it longer. So it's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy shit, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and last one on this. I remember the time when GSP announced he was walking away after the Johnny Hendricks fight, and you said he owes it to the belt and the company to at least defend it against the guy that rightfully should fight for it. Do you think that's kind of the same here with John?
Yeah, but John's been John's been John since he walked in the door here. And yeah, I was younger then. Yeah, realize shit doesn't go the way you would like it to go all the time.
Dana, what did you make of Pat?
So that's you know what's interesting about that, and obviously, like, there were some other bits there as well. But, and by the way, shout out to Oscar Willis, because for people that don't know this, when you're in that position, like I've been in that position before in the post-fight press conference, you've been working all day long on the event, and then when Dana White's up there, it's like there's a lot of stress, and then if you ask too many questions, it can do a bunch of stuff. And Dana was obviously not that willing to talk about it, and Oscar was able to strategically get him to at least speak a little bit about it more. So it just shows the skill level there from Oscar Willis. But dude, to me, it feels like, we went from Dana White saying this fight is going to happen, it's going to be locked in, John Jones is pound for pound the greatest fighter in the world. I'm starting to see a few cracks here, right? Like, I'm starting to see him build a little bit of a scenario where actually things are not going that well. And he is not like guaranteeing anything anymore, right? That's out the door now.
Nothing is solidified. And it's one of those instances where how can I say the sky is blue without saying the sky is blue, right? Oscar asks him point blank, is this a world in which, John ducks him? And Dana says, well, if he doesn't want to fight, I guess he doesn't want to fight. Dana, that's also called ducking, right? And I think that the dismissal of the 200,000 signatures on that change.org petition that Dana did, I think a question later, is funny. He likes to say, oh, we've got how many viewers? 400 million, followers worldwide. 200,000 people is a lot. Right, 200,000 fucking signatures is a lot. So I think Dana again is just employing this level of ignorance to explain, the lack of progress or John's insistence on stepping out the door. Either way, Dana's in a shit position, and I think you and I both know that Tom Aspinall's earning potential is being diminished the more that we just sit and wait. And John, just let the belt go. Just please let it go. That's all I'm asking.
It actually makes absolutely zero sense. By the way, that petition, it caused people such as this man right here to leave video messages. I don't know if you saw this guy.
Homie needs to be stripped. He was being a coward.
He's got to shave that beard. There is no world in which. I'm sorry.
But people like that, listen, if people like that are leaving video messages, things are bad right now in the UFC. What did you think, by the way, of the little smirk that Dana White had about the Francis Ngannou thing, right? Interesting.
Interesting in that he pretends he doesn't know. Who says that? John? No, he's fully informed. There's not a world in which people weren't sending that tweet to Dana. People weren't texting Dana going, oh, John and Francis, Ngannou's back. There is no world in which Dana was not aware before Oscar asked that question, right? So, that's what I feel people need to get out of the way. And for idiots to sit and go, maybe that's the first time Dana's getting hit with that. No, he was aware that that had occurred. So, again, pretending ignorance, I get it. It's a great play, but it's silly.
Yeah. So for people that missed out, John Jones went on Twitter or X or whatever. It actually spoke to Francis Ngannou and how much he wants that fight. I'm hearing Francis Ngannou is still interested. Now we're talking, that's a real super fight, a clash of champions, not just hype. He held the UFC belt. I've defended mine for over a decade. I mean, is this textbook ducking here or what? Like, he is now building out this other thing here. And I know he's like trolling Tom Aspinall. A part of it is like, Tom is missing a huge part of his youth and his prime, right? And he's Michael Chandlering it out on the sidelines. But it's just getting outrageous at this point, right? Like, he's trying to play Francis Ngannou into the situation. But we all know, like, the UFC's probably not going to bring Francis back. They should. But he knows that that's a good thing to go down, a good road to go down to delay things even longer.
It's just, I think, humor at this point, right? John's trying to have some laughs about it, which I think is great because it's so unrealistic. Nobody should approach that situation and think, yes, we can actually do Ngannou versus Jones. Hey, did you forget about the 3 years that John Jones could have fought Francis but chose not to? Do you forget
Mhm.
about those 3 years, right? So there's no fucking world in which it's now going to happen. It's just jokes. PFL's not going to let Francis do that. Your PFL chairman of Africa return to the UFC. You think Don Davis is going to let that slide? No, thank you. So it's just, it's all jokes. It's all fugazi, as Matthew McConaughey would say, right? So I get it. And like, I saw someone suggest this that Tom and John is done, right? It's a signed deal behind the scenes, and this is all just some foreplay for social media. If that's the case, I will retract all of my criticism. I'll withdraw all of it, 100%. But until I see that fucking fight poster, it's just bullshit and it's annoying.
Do you see both guys walking to the octagon, right? Like, we've got to
Yeah.
make sure they're all there. I've been to events with John Jones where the fights didn't happen. We were there the week of, and the day or two before, boom, it's not happening. What the hell? Hey, I was going to quickly say as well, if it's going to be, we'll get into UFC 316 right now in a second, but last thing on this, it's going to be a tragedy if this thing doesn't happen, right? Because then you'll end up having like Tom Aspinall versus like Surugan. Okay, great fight, but that's not at the level of a John Jones. But it gets even worse because after that fight, it's going to be like Tom Aspinall versus, like, there's nobody. There's like Almeida. It's going to be like Tom Aspinall versus Almeida. It's going to be like Tom Aspinall. Maybe like Blades will get another shot. Like, there's no one in the heavyweight division. Maybe like Pereira, if he can somehow beat Ankalaev, which is super unlikely, could potentially like roll over somehow into that division down the track. But like, there's no money fights for Tom there. He's going to have to rebuild that division now.
And that's like what makes it worse with the Michael Chandler comparison is because Iron Mike had no real significant elite wins in lightweight, yet decided to sit on the sidelines. Tom Aspinall has cleaned out everybody in the top 5, not named Cyril Gahn. He's beaten half of the top 10. So this is a guy who really has bulldozed the division that is now halted in his tracks. If you want to take it back to 23-year-old John Jones and Shogun Rua giving him this opportunity to compete for the title, a legend passing the torch like so many have done for John Jones, and the hypocrisy, right, years later, when he's refusing to do the same is disappointing to an incredible degree, right? This sport is built on the difference of eras and the transition in between them. And John Jones, I'm not saying he needs to fulfill his duty and go die to Tom Aspinall, go get cooked by Tom Aspinall to transition and pass the torch. I'm not saying that, but you look at the guys that gave John Jones opportunities to compete and didn't string them along for years, and then you look at what John Jones is doing, and yeah, I think we can see some decision making not being made that probably should.
Dude, it's just crazy because GSP did it. He just relinquished the belt, and fans forgive him, and things moved on. But it's like, dude, like the way that he's played it out for his legacy and his relationship with fans could not be like the worst way to do it. And it's like, why didn't you just let the belt go, let Tom do his thing? You'd still have an opportunity to come back and fight him. So anyway, the way that it all played out, I think it just leaves a bit of taste in people's mouths. Anyway,